I mentioned the military cemetery. My colleague George Quainin is there right now, and we're just going to take you there for quick sights and scenes, as with the expectations as the mortal remains continues to journey to that final destination. George, if you can hear me, talk to us as to preparations and expectations ahead of that final rites to be performed before she's given the final rest.
Marina, thank you so much. Good afternoon, and thanks for having me. We're coming to you live from the military cemetery, and as you're aware, it's the burial service for the late former First Lady Konadu Agyemang Rawlings. And the cemetery is the third part. The third part is the last part of the burial service, and we're expecting the President and a delegation from the Independence Square to join us here for the interment of the former First Lady. And if you come here, there are three sections, just a part for the ordinary military people, and there's a presidential section, if my cameraman can pan to that very area, and there's also a national memorial section. And so the former President, Jerry John Rawlings, was buried at the presidential section, and so the former First Lady will be buried at the National Memorials section, and that'll be close to the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. So that is where the former First Lady will be interred. And like I mentioned, it's the third part of this very burial service, and it's a legacy of courage and resilience. And the former First Lady died at the age of 77. So let me just run by you what exactly will be taking place here. And there's going to be a procession, and that's by the bearer party, and there's also going to be scripture sentences from family, friends, and sympathizers who will be coming here for the interment. And there will also be hymns and committal and prayer. There will be vote of thanks. There will be hymn and prayer and benediction, martial music, and finally departure. And so, like I rightly mentioned, we are expecting the President to join us shortly for this very interment service here at the military cemetery, and she will be buried close to the former Secretary General Kofi Annan. And I can see some motorcade here that will just give a signal that the President will be here shortly to join us. And it's been a day of solemn, a day of mourning, and if you recall, the former First Lady stood for human rights, stood for women empowerment, and so if a lot of people are saying if we should write a book for people who champion the cause of women, they should actually leave a chapter for the former First Lady. And clearly the military are not expected to share whether that's. I wish I could just pick some few words from them to tell me about their fondest memories of this former First Lady. If they really get the opportunity, it will be very, impossible. But these are scenes from the military cemetery. If you just tune in, we're coming to you live from the military cemetery, and we are expecting the procession led by the President, John Dramani Mahama, and family, friends of the former First Lady to join us here whilst we intern the body of the former First Lady. And so these are the buses of the military that, they also took place. They actually had the activities at the Independence Square, and so these people are coming here for the interment service, and then they are here in their numbers to make sure this is done right, giving a befitting burial for the former First Lady. And I just want to pick a few words from, I know he is with the Ghana Armed Forces, and I know you're coming from the Independence Square. So can you tell us, I know you're a religious person, what are your fondest memories of the former First Lady?
Mother.
George Quainin again has joined us. He's updating us from the military cemetery. George, what else do you have? Take it away.
Yeah. So if you just tune in, we're coming to you live from the military cemetery. I'm joined by Reverend Paul, who is the former Director General of the Religious Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Armed Forces, and he is part of the burial service, preparations arrangement, and he's been taking a keen participation in this. And what does this very day mean to you?
Yeah, it means a great loss to our nation. Knowing her from my school days and her role, what she has done for a lot of people through the 31st December women's movement, giving a lot of skills to people, ladies in particular, and even some men. Giving them skills that they can use to take care of themselves alone. And then her role as a wife and a mother wife to the former president and a mother to a lot of people, particularly her children. I think that is a great loss to all of us.
So it's a legacy of courage and resilience. I'm sure you couldn't have greeted any better.
Yes, I think that, yes, she was very courageous and very resilient. That's what I said from the beginning. When it is no, it is no. When it is yes, it is yes. And when it is no and she has to do considerations, she does that, yes. And so knowing her, it was a very firm woman and yet very fair. So
finally, before you go, I know a friend who says if we should write a book for people who champion for women empowerment, they should leave a chapter for Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings.
No, her dossier alone is a PhD material. If you have seen it, it's a whole book, and that is.
I think I was very heavy.
Yeah, that's a whole PhD thing. So somebody must take up the responsibility of researching into who Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings was. And I think that we'll learn a lot of great lessons from her legacies. Yeah.
We learned a lot of great lessons from her legacy, and that's Reverend Paul, who is the former Director General of the Religious Affairs Directorate, Komodo Religious Directorate of the Ghana Armed Forces, sharing his thoughts on the memories of the former First Lady. Like I rightly mentioned, we are expecting the President here, and this is the interment for the former First Lady. So it's actually at the National Memorial section where she will be interred next to the former Secretary General Kofi Annan. Thanks for watching. We'll just join you for more updates as and when we get any information.
Right, so George Quaiding, thank you for that report, and certainly we'll be going back there. What we are all waiting for now is the arrival of the body of the former First Lady, and we're also expecting some dignitaries at the burial site, which is the military cemetery. So it tells us that it gives us an indication of what exactly will be happening in the next few minutes when they finally do arrive at the location. And it also gives an indication of what the relevance of her life and how she lived it, and the state has deemed it necessary to give her this befitting state burial, just to say we appreciate that she lived the life she did. I mean,